Hi, welcome to today's summit, Raising Your Quantum Vibe. And today I have with me a special guest, Lisa Winston. And Lisa, I am so excited to have you on this summit. You are absolutely perfect for this, on telling people how to raise their quantum vibe. So how are you?
I am fantastic. And it's my honor and joy to be here because as I told you before, I love being on summits. I love sharing the message and I love spreading the information around. So it's a good day to do this. So thank you for having me. And again, I want to honor you for putting this whole thing together because I know how much work it takes to do this. And it's actually a work of love. It really is. So thank you for having me.
Oh, you are more than welcome. I'm just so glad that you could be with me. So let me dive into how Lisa is on the summit and what she's all about. First of all, she is a really a very interesting coach. I've followed her on her Facebook Lives, and I can tell you for sure, she can whip you into action. If you need a coach that's going to put you in charge of your life and help you to become more authentic, this is the lady who will do it. She is an extreme authenticity and confidence coach. That's what I love about her. She helps you stand in your power and magic of your true, authentic self. She helps you be unshakable, unapologetic, and unstoppable, just like she is. And the way she ended up being this way is, she was born in 1959. That's when she manifested into her human form. And from her earliest moments, she felt anxious and afraid. As a child, she felt unloved, unheard, unseen, and unaccepted. Her gifts were misunderstood. Her joy was squashed. Basically, it wasn't okay to be Lisa. But she felt through massive drama from the time she was a child until she was 50, including toxic divorces, molestation, rape, and abuse. But she never gave up. She never stopped searching. She never stopped praying and following her gut. Even in her darkest hours, she still believed she was here for something greater.
Thank you.
Nothing's going to get you down. So, is there anything I left out that you want to contribute to that?
I hope not. No, I think that's enough.
Okay, so let's get into our topic here about raising our quantum vibe. And one of the things I want to know from you is, first of all, with everything that you had to go through, how did you learn to push past those limitations? How did you recognize your thoughts, your beliefs, and your expectations and turn everything around? Because, that's heavy duty.
Yeah, that's a big question. First of all, many of you may know that I changed my title from Quantum Success Coach, which I still am. I still deal in the field of quantum possibility, but I started out as an authenticity coach, and Spirit brought me back to that because if we don't know who we are, which is the quantum field of all possibility, which is, who we truly are on the inside and the outside, then we really don't have a whole lot of success in our lives. And so that's why I'm really back combining the two together. So I love your questions, by the way. Truthfully, my journey was long and it was hellacious. That's all I can say. And I suffered for a lot of years. So, and you did mention, for 50 years that I went through all this stuff, and I am 58. So it took me quite a long time. Now, it doesn't have to take everybody that long. I have a 23-year-old daughter who's already on the journey of work, doing the inner work, and she's very awake and aware. So the kids these days seem to be a lot more connected than I was. But I just knew that, when I got to the 50-year mark and all the stuff that had happened, they always say lessons keep coming to you until you actually learn what it is that you're here to learn. And you get to wake up. So when I finally, the wildfire and the breast cancer within 2 months of each other really was my universal 2x4, that call, that wake up thing I got across the head because I wasn't clearly hearing what it was that I was supposed to hear. And I had done previously, I read a lot of books, I did Qigong, I got certified. I mean, I was always doing processes and I was on my hands and knees a lot of times praying, why me, right? So something really happened to me because I really dug in even deeper after the fire and the cancer. And I stayed in that relationship I was in for about another 5 years until and I kept doing the work, but really seeking. It was like not so much being the victim and on my knees, praying, but it was like, what can I do to start shifting things. So I remember I started with, I don't know if you ever heard of Lynn Grabhorn. She's has passed away since now, since whenever I read the book.
Mm-hmm.
But her book was called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, which really got into feelings and how you create from feelings and how you can literally create from the quantum field by focusing on positive experiences and, you know, really like managing that. So I started playing with that and I saw like crazy stuff that I had never even contemplated. Like I was taking pictures of a house one day and in the window I saw like an alternate me. Like there's a picture I have with the face of me in the window. It's not a reflection. It's a different me. And there were like weird looking creatures. Like when you start really, I'm getting goosebumps. When you start playing in this quantum field of all possibility, you really open up to and you commit to it. That's the thing. I wasn't committed before. I was more committed to being a victim and suffering. And there was a point where I just decided, okay, I'm going to actually take control and I'm going to start moving toward whatever it is I'm supposed to move toward. When you commit to that and you dive into the processes and you get yourself out of the way, you can literally, and you got to understand, I started from low vibration, right? 3D. And all of a sudden I'm like manifesting and doing all this crazy stuff that Lynn Grabhorn's book. And that was literally the book that propelled me into this. And I saw the strangest things because I was going from low vibration to, wow, off the charts vibration. And I didn't have any sense of what that meant. I just knew that the universe was moving and things were happening. So that was really the big shift for me. And then I continued to do the work, do my Qigong, spend a lot of time in meditation, reading, doing programs, doing processes. And, there was a point at the end of that 5 years, I can't tell you exactly when it was, when I had one of those downloads, those light bulb moments, those epiphany moments where there are no words, it's just something goes in. And I knew that I had to leave that relationship and it was time for me to actually move into my life's mission. So I packed up my daughter. We got no money from a 15-year relationship and $1 million house, brand new house rebuilt from fire, right?
Mm.
I went out and got 2 jobs on top of my singing. And it was just like I made a decision that I wasn't going to die where I was. I was going to actually become something more and move into my life's mission. So it was really, again, it's a journey. You've got to make a decision for your life. Is it instantaneous that this stuff happens? Not generally, but there is a point where something shifts, something clicks, and and then you take action in a greater way. So it's really hard to explain because like I said, it was a process, but it does happen when you take charge.
Well, I've got a question because I know that you are an empath. And when you are manifesting through feeling, how do you get yourself back on target? Because we all have those days where we're going to have shifts in our energy based upon what's going on around the world. And so how do you, get yourself back into that positive? Because as an empath, explain a little bit about that so the viewers will know.
Yeah. And forgive me. I mean, there's no air conditioning here, so I got my light on and it's like going to be 95 today with humidity. So if I get a little glowy, it's just from sweat. So I'm not glowing from universal glow. Great question. So this is my philosophy. First of all, I made a choice a long time ago to not read the newspaper. I don't watch television. Like I rarely watch TV, and there's some people that live with me and they watch it once in a while. I don't sit down and watch TV. It's not that I don't ever, like I've watched a comedy show or something on a History Channel. And a lot of people had accused me of actually burying my head in the sand. You should know what's going on in the world. And there's a certain degree of truth to that. But however, I want to keep and maintain my vibration. And because I'm an empath, because I feel so deeply, and because that has shifted to an even greater level where I feel love and I feel pain and suffering from people. And I've really had to learn to manage this with clients because I don't want to take on their energy, but I want to use that feeling what they're feeling to help me to help them. Right. So it's this, again, it's a process of managing that gift, which some days feels like a curse. But when I made that decision again, it really started to keep me in the space of keeping my vibrations much more even. And I've had to work through that too. I also surround myself with a lot of people who are positive. If somebody's really being a downer and they're very negative, I've learned to, through a lot of training programs and leadership programs, I'm always doing the work to be better and better, but I've learned to speak my truth to people in a loving way, to say, you know what, you've got to stop that, or I can't be around you because I've got to keep my vibrations high because my mission is to lift people and lift the world and the vibration of the world. So there are lots and lots of different things I do. And there are days when I have an experience, like I think you've seen on my Facebook Lives, I've had some crazy karmic relationships come in and crazy things that are even beyond anything I've ever experienced or even
Yes,
understand.
I have, Lisa,
Right?
but you know what? With all the experience as a coach that you have, you
Yeah.
are able to turn it around immediately. It does not
It's,
linger on from what
yeah,
I
it's pretty quick.
followed you on. I mean, a couple of things
Yeah.
have, but you were able to still nip it around where that's why people would want to contact you because you know how to do that.
Yeah, and again, it's I have coaches. I've had coaches for years, and I'll probably never be without a coach because my reality really changed when I was trying to do it by myself. I had some success, but I really didn't have a plan. I didn't have a strategy. I didn't have anybody to hold me accountable. I had no hand holding. I had nobody to go to for when I had questions about things. So it was really that process of, and that's probably why it took me such a long time. So I do have people to support me, not just coaches, but friends that are intuitives and empaths and colleagues and a community around me. So that's really important. I want people to know that if you isolate, you're going to have a tough time getting anywhere because isolation, even when you don't like people and you don't like yourself, is to me, it's like death, really and truly. Not that you can't have time and space to yourself. That's a whole different thing than isolating. But yeah, it's true. I mean, I did have a couple of things really knock me down, but it was so cool to see how far I had come. And you saw my Facebook Lives again. I got on, I shared it because I wanted people to understand that we all go through this stuff. Oprah Winfrey has bad days. Tony Robbins has bad days, quote unquote bad days. Stuff happens. But when you get better and better and you keep doing the work and you take the journey, the time that you spend suffering is less and less. Whereas when I was, 25 or 30 and I'd sit and stew in something for like weeks or months, now I can clear it out in a day or two, So that's the power of walking the journey and doing the work.
That's wonderful. And, I want to also ask you a little bit about this. Okay, so we have, and this is for me too. Sometimes what happens is we bring our past into our future and we make decisions in our future based upon our past. When is it okay to do that? When is it not okay to do that?
That is such a great question. It's so funny that you asked that because I'm actually just launching today my Insight Evolution program, which is the Gibson banding method. And actually, I got certified in it because not only am I doing my own authenticity processes and quantum processes, but it's a process of shifting your paradigm. Because if you don't know what you're creating from, you don't know, you don't even know what your values are, you don't know what the paradigm is that you're creating from generally, which is you're creating things from beliefs that you've acquired from your parents, from your teachers, from religion, from social consciousness. So we're doing things and we wonder why we have this discomfort, which is called cognitive dissonance. It's where you have two conflicting thoughts, one that's this and one that says, no, it's not that. It's almost like when you do an affirmation, right? And you say, I want $10 million or I have $10 million and your ego's going, and your old belief system is going, no, you don't. And it really neutralizes it, just cancels it all out. So it's really this process of figuring out and knowing and being awake and aware enough to know, first of all, what you value, second of all, what you're creating from, and then doing processes that actually can help you to make better decisions for your future. Because personally, I don't believe we can make great decisions from our past. Our past served a purpose. It doesn't define us. Like all the stuff that happened to me, I'm not going to stay there because it didn't define me. As a matter of fact, the fire and the breast cancer was one of the most awake, aware, present moment years that I had. And I have to say it was phenomenal. Not that I want anybody to go through that experience, but that was my experience. So what I get from that is that it just was a gift to me and I get to wake up to it. So if you can look in the past and see your divorces and your traumas and your abuses and all the things, all the wounds that you have, and you can see them as a gift and thank them. Thank the universe for bringing them to you to awaken you so that you can make better decisions in the future, then that serves you. But if you're always looking in the rearview mirror, that's not going to work. And even I just want to mention, it's coming up, I had considered being a past life regression therapist at one point because I help people with that too. I do some medium work. I do a lot of different things on that realm. But and what I decided is that, I know a lot of my past lives. I've been killed in a lot of past lives. I've had karmic relationships come to me where people killed me. Okay, well, I'm here now and I've survived a lot of stuff and I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, I don't believe. So I've survived all that and I've learned from that. And I can look at that and go, oh, that's coming to me maybe for healing, or just for resolution, or maybe just to see that I'm not that anymore, and I'm not there anymore, and I'm not attracting that anymore. So you can use it, but a lot of people get stuck in the past. They get stuck in their past lives. They get stuck in their trauma dramas. And then they create a story around it. You know how we talk about people having stories, right? We all have a story. And some people's stories create baby stories and more stories, right? Everything is a story. So if you keep your consciousness clear of the stories and you don't go there and you see the value, and again, you want to keep it clean and clear.
I do want you to guide us on how to stay present, because that is something that I see happening in your life, that yes, you know, you bring yourself forward, but you also bring yourself really present, real authentic, and you know, guide us on or teach us how you do that.
Well, let's just do it really easy, quick. I mean, I was doing meditations before, but Spirit just has me all the time now working with present moment awareness practices with people, which is super easy, because a lot of people, again, we can go into the quantum field, and I had this discussion with you earlier, you know, that I do DNA healing. I do a lot of things that I don't discuss. Some people are there. A lot of people are not there. So the present moment practice is great, because a lot of people say, well, I can't meditate. You know, my mind's always going. So what I suggest is that people get into the gap between the thoughts, which Wayne Dyer calls the gap. It's actually the God space between the thoughts. You want to, you know, either focus there or just really start getting into your body. So let's do a really quick present moment awareness practice with everybody. And if you're driving a car, don't do this, clearly. All right, so everybody just get comfortable wherever it is that you are. If you're able to do this, we're going to take it through, and it's going to be very simple. But I want you to see what I do, and then you get to practice it first thing in the morning. You can do it for, you know, a minute. It doesn't have to be, and so no excuses that you don't have time, right? It's not about having time. It's about making time, putting yourself first, doing what puts you in a space of being grounded and centered. That's what it's all about. So just everybody get really present. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Just blow it out with a sigh. Kind of release your day where you are right now. And everybody just kind of move your neck and your shoulders around a little bit. If there's tension, which there normally is in people's shoulders and necks and heads, just kind of move around and get your body comfortable. And then once you feel that you find that space of comfort, then again, I want you to come back, and I want you to take another deep breath. Hold it for a second, blow it out. And then I want you to get the sensation of your body being pulled down by gravity, just dripping to the floor, letting everything go. And the present moment awareness practice is not a meditation in the way of saying any kind of affirmation or mantra. It's really about getting into feeling into your body, feeling the sensations of what's happening in the present moment. So you're literally going to, as you close your eyes, if you find that your mind is wandering, just let it go. Don't start a story about it. Bring your eyes, like physically, bring your eyes down to your heart space. You can even put your hand over your heart and hold it there. You want to have other things to focus on. So this whole practice is continue to breathe, don't hold your breath, continue to drip to the floor, letting your body just relax. And what I want you to do is notice your heart beating. What does that feel like? Notice your lungs expanding and contracting. What does that feel like? Keep breathing. Notice any sensations in your body anywhere else. Don't judge them. You're just looking at them with curiosity. And then I want you to go a step further. What does the air feel like against your skin, your face, your arms? Letting yourself drip to the floor. Continue to breathe. What sounds are you hearing in the place that you're in right now? Birds chirping. What do you hear? What are you smelling? Perhaps you're tasting something right now in your mouth. Continue to breathe. How does your bottom feel in your chair? Your sits bones against your chair. How does the floor feel against your feet or your shoes? If you have a chair with arms, how does that feel against your arms? Continue to breathe. And again, if the thoughts come in, I want you to continue to focus on what's happening right now in this present moment. Right now, the only time that we're promised and we're together right now energetically, all of us, we're all one. Just continue to feel into your body and focus on your body and your surroundings and feeling that, which will keep you out of your head. And just for the sake of time, everybody just go ahead and take another deep breath in. Hold it. Let it out with a sigh. Take one more breath in. Let it out. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and bring yourself back to the room. I could always stay there for about a half hour.
That's so wonderful. I love that. I love that.
And it's easy. I mean, meditate, there's so many stories we have around meditation and doing other things. And so it's a really great practice because number one, that I always say this, and that is, we're only promised, you and I right now, like I always say, 30 seconds from now, I could drop over. I mean, we're not guaranteed a minute from now. We're not guaranteed 30 years from now. None of it. So this is that space of, which really creates, I believe for myself, which I believe everybody, if they practice this, really starts to create more joy, more gratitude. Because in the present moment, you may have money issues, but you're not thinking about your money issues. What do you have now? Which is you're alive, your limbs are working, you're breathing, you're able to do, you're whole and perfect, you need nothing. So it really gets you into a space of gratitude. I think it's one of the most important things that you can practice.
Absolutely. And I just love how you are just, I feel like you can help a variety of people, from people that are just beginning their journey and need a little extra help, people that are in the middle, and people who need, what you were talking about, woo-woo help with the DNA. I'm one of those people, but that's what this, summit is a little bit about. We're talking about Ascension 101. So I feel like you've got where you can take somebody from the beginning all the way through and stay with them and, bring them to a point where they need to be. So, I really appreciate knowing all of that about you and getting that out here on the summit so people can find out, yes, I do fit with, this coach. I do. That's what it's all about, because there's a lot of coaches out there. We just don't know. Not everybody's going to match up. So it's so nice to find somebody who can be flexible and take people through a journey like you've been.
Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I mean, I've worked with men. I work with more women. I work with a lot of women my age, 50 and over, 45, 50 over, but I'm attracting some younger people too. But again, there are people that call me for DNA healing specifically, some sessions. And I have a lot of one-on-ones and we deal with a lot of things in life. But again, I always want to bring it back because we don't want to focus on our stories. We want to focus on who we are. And present moment awareness, gratitude practices, all those things actually do. You can go out and do some more woo-woo things too. But that in and of itself has lifted me to a vibration of love where I spend more time in joy and love and on my face in tears, because there's no feeling like divine love, which none of us have felt. You have to actually get to that. And it's not constant. You can't hold that vibrationally all the time because it's so high. I mean, we're still having a human experience, but we are definitely ascending from the 3D to like a 5D level. But I mean, just raising to the vibration of love is ascending us and putting us into that space. So we can have all these conversations around quantum field, which is fun. It's really fun and I love all of it. But again, it's really just foundational stuff that gets us back to who we really are. And that's what it is. It's returning and remembering who we really are, which is a part of the quantum field of all possibility.
And on that note, we will conclude our interview because we could be talking all day long, Lisa.
Yeah.
But this is a short mini summit. And I really appreciate everything that you've expressed in this interview. And I know that you've got a free gift for everyone, and that's going to be in a link below the video and also your website so people can get in touch with you. So Thank you so much again for being a part of this summit.
Thank you for having me, and continued success to you too.